Hey scrapbookers, and welcome to, I think this is going to be day number 8 of December Daily. I'm filming this on the 9th, so I'm confusing myself. Today's Monday, but I'm going to be doing Sunday, and I didn't take any pictures yesterday, and so I'm just going to play a little bit today. As you know, I have, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I have an 8x8 American Crafts album, and I've been running low on page protectors. So I have the American Crafts page protectors, but then I've switched over to just Avery, which is I get at Office Depot, but the Avery page protectors, which are PV 119. And so I've been cutting those down using my Carl personal trimmer, which is better for this purpose than the guillotine cutter. So I've been using this instead of my guillotine cutter for the page protectors. It seems to work better. And because I'm so thrifty, or at least I like to think I am, I have these extra bits that are just, you know, when I cut the pages down, and I'll just demonstrate how I cut them. So if I have a page protector like this and I want it to go in my 8x8 album, I just cut it down to, let's just see, like a little bit, oh, I guess we gotta get it going in this way. So I just line it up over here on the ruler to 8x8, and it's actually going to be 8.5x8, so when I put my papers in to my album, I really do need to know which page protector they're going into. So I just cut it. Look at how easy that is. Okay, it's so easy. It's like butter. It really is like butter. Remember Coffee Talk from Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live, like butter. Anyways, the personal paper trimmer is neither personal nor paper. Discuss. Okay, that's my funny bit for the day. I'm not that funny, but I do like to incorporate principles of improvisational comedy into my scrapbooking, but I'm not necessarily going to talk about that today, but I do have other videos that I talk all about that. So anyways, what I'm all about today is how can I make these little bits be thrifty? And this is going to go into the album. I use a Crop-A-Dile. If you haven't seen my other videos, I use a Crop-A-Dile, and then I use actually a page protector as a template to figure out where the holes are going to go. So I just line it up pretty even. And sometimes I'll use a binder clip to hold it all in place, but you really can just cut it just like this. Sometimes I just make it a little bit bigger. And then you can plop it into your album, and bada boom, it's going to fit. So I'll just show you how that works. So this is my album so far. That was day number 7. And I did spend some time last night cutting out all the rest of the numbers, so I no longer have to be looking for those. These are from a Teresa Collins pattern paper from 2013. I think it's called Santa's List. But I had to do 6th grade algebra with my son last night for a really long time. So in between when he was doing his torture, or algebra, I cut these little things out while I was waiting for him to answer. So the page protectors, the Avery page protectors, fit into the album just fine. They are a little bit different, but one other idea as to how to jazz these up to make these cuter is one thing I do is I'll sew a piece of pattern paper, especially that Cartabella paper that I like the feeling of so much. I can do it that way, or I can just, this is another little trick, if you want to cover up, like if there's some kind of writing on your page protectors that you're not necessarily loving, you can just cover it up with washi tape and make it cuter that way. And I'm just going to go actually all the way around on this one, so I might be able to see those holes. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not going to go all the way around. I'm just going to rip that off. So just to demonstrate, ta-da. So the little part that says Avery is now covered up, and now it's cuter. And I've been using this washi tape a lot in my December Daily album, so it will coordinate. I haven't done a lot of pre-planning in the album. I've done that some years, and what I end up with, I'll show you. I end up with more than I need. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like, hold on. I completed an album last year, but this is all the extra stuff from that album, which after December just does the effect of stressing me out. So I'm not really sure. I could use it for this year, but I just haven't gone into it just because, I don't know. There's good stickers, there's all sorts of things in here, but to me it just feels like a big old mess, and I have already taken a big old mess and divided it into my supplies for this year. So I'm just leaving that old pile alone, just because I don't find it inspiring whatsoever this year. Okay, so one thought that I had for these little bits, is to take like a Project Life card, right? That's going to be 3x4, and then I can make these little, like, you've seen these. They're all over. Like, if you go into Pinterest and you search December Daily, like the fourth thing that comes up right now are these little pockets with the stars inside of them. So I'm just going to show you how to make one, and then I'm going to make one and use it on a page. So, oh, it really is so easy. It's amazing. So the opening here is a little bit bigger than 4x4 or 3x4, but I've just used these as a little template. And then I'm going to show you how hopefully easy it is, depending on the mood of my sewing machine. So one side is already together, but I think I'm going to sew that anyways, just so that it'll be sewed on all sewn on all four edges. So I'm going to start over here and then go all the way up, and then I'll stick the things in the pocket. Turn on my machine. I think that's on. Is it plugged in? That would help. Plug in your sewing machine. So I just have the little transparency from a page protector here, and I'm making sure that I just have it on a straight stitch. Yep. And then I'm just going to start it, just because I don't have a lot of confidence in this, on just turning the crank manually. And now I'm going to try it with the footer. And why isn't this going on? Okay, we have light now. Okay, so here we go. That is doing what I wanted to do. The stitch is not so beautiful. This is my new brother, and I had a Brother Project Runway model, and it was just so much easier to use, I thought, and I just liked the way that it felt a little bit better. This is the Brother XL 2600i, and it's alright. I like the Project Runway version better. I think it was more digital than this one. But for my purposes, most of what I do in sewing-wise is in scrapbooking. So I usually don't spend more than $100 on a sewing machine. And then my last brother lasted me, I don't know, like good 5 years at least. So, and I use it a lot, so. If you just think of it as a tool for scrapbooking, I think that $100 over 5 years is fine. That's reasonable. Okay. even with my thrifty self. So I have this jar of glitter. What do you call this? Tinsel. No. Sequin. Confetti sequins. And what I'm just going to do, and I don't subscribe to any kits, although I'm thinking about it. But I don't right now. But I am thinking about it. It looks like fun. And it looks like fun to participate in something with other people and have a gallery of where you can see everybody doing different things with the same products. I think that sounds like fun. But so far I haven't taken the leap. So here's some confetti. The little sequin. I was even in beauty pageants and I can't think of that word. Sequins. In the beauty pageants in the 80s, there were lots of sequins, and I should remember their name, but I don't, so, oh well. Okay, and now I'm just going to sew the rest of this here. There we go. Okay. So I think that's going to be just fine, and now I'm going to start my page. So here's what that looks like. Can you see it? I think you kind of can. I'm going to move my camera because I don't usually work going this way, but I wanted to show you the process with the sewing machine. Actually, I might not. I lied, because I think I might stitch a little bit more onto the, we'll see. I might have to move my camera and then just move it back. So I'm just moving my sewing machine out of the way. I am in my new scrapbook space, and I still haven't completely adapted to this space. I don't feel totally at home in this space yet, but here's that little pocket that I made. That was pretty easy. Okay, so I have 2 pages to work on today, and one is, I had a gap. So this is my page. I'm going to put a picture of my family here on the front page. We haven't taken that picture yet. It's going to be on the beach. We do this every year. Then this was Goodbye November, Hello December, and then a retrospective of 2013. This was December 1st, December 2nd. So this is where we are so far in the album. 5, 6, and then this page was blank, and I made this hot mess of a page yesterday, and I made it in the new Avery page protector. And not only that, it has to go over here because I put this sticker, so I can't really move this page. Even though I'd like it to go over here, it's just not going to budge. So my thought for this page was I am going to use this page for Christmas cards. So I'm not quite ready to use this yet, although that would look cute, but it's not happening yet. So I got this postcard from my friends, and that's a lot of pictures of one family. That's great, but in order to get everything down to a manageable size, what I'm going to do is use my square punch, and I've done this in years past, and you can usually get everybody's faces in this square punch. Ta-da! So that's what's going to happen on this page, and this page will just be all of these squares. And so I don't need more than one picture of this family. I have a whole bunch of pictures there, but I think one is going to be plenty. And so the first thing I want to do is cut just a piece of white cardstock for this page, and I'm just using my thumb to mark off the measurement. And yes, it's going to be 8.5 wide. I guess I should have known that, but then it's not always the same amount tall, so that's why I'm using just my thumbnail to mark it off before I cut it on my handy dandy skeleton cutter that I finally brought up here to my new scrapbook space. And like butter. I love it. Yeah, I love my guillotine cutter. And that one in particular, because I have another one that is not like butter. And so this is going to be the page for the Christmas cards. And what I thought might be fun is if I cut everything with this, what do you call this thing? Punch. Okay, so just to show you, I'm just going to cut some things in a different color here. So here's green. And this is mainly so I can space things out. Oops. Okay, so I think they're going to be spaced out sort of like this. And then let's see how far we can get up. So it's going to be 16 pieces. And I thought I would have enough space to use washi tape, but I don't think I'm going to, but I might have enough space to use this foil because it's thinner. Let's try that. Or I could machine stitch it. But I think just for purposes of going a little faster, I am going to use the foil and hopefully I'll have enough. Maybe I should measure it first, right? Isn't that what they say? Measure once, measure twice, cut once, measure twice, cut once. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need, I think, 6 pieces of this. I think I got this gold foil tape at Joann. So that's going to be across, and then this will be up and down. And what I like about this is then I can, if the page structure, like the skeleton of the page is basically all laid out, then I can just add in the rest of the pictures as I get them. And say I don't get 16 pictures, which I would be surprised if I didn't. We had a lot of Christmas cards. If I didn't, then I can just put pattern paper in where they would have gone. So let's go this way first. And I'm basically just using, so I think I want to do this one first. I'm using the pattern paper and the picture just as spacers. I'm not going to adhere those down yet. Oh man, this is like hard to get off. It's hard to get the adhesive back off the gold foil stuff. Okay, I think I don't know if there's a trick to this. If there is, I don't know it. It's harder than it looks. Okay, I've gotten it. And I guess I could, okay, so this stuff wants to curl. So don't, if you're using gold foil tape, be careful. So here we go. I'll just get some of that down. I think I've got it, yeah, I didn't, it looks like doo-doo. It's okay, but it's not, I'm thinking I'm not getting that as nice as it could be, but oh well, what do you do? So I think what I will do almost is like trim it with my, because the space of this page is, I'm going to cut the pictures with the punch, but then I think I'm going to actually trim them just a little bit more because it feels like they're going to be crowded otherwise. So I'm going to just get them down to the right size. And then after I get them down to the right size, then I will, oh, it's really wants to, this gold foil like has a desire to be curled. Ah, wow. So we went and looked at dogs this weekend. We kind of sort of want a dog for Christmas, and my husband keeps trying to get me to want a dog with curly hair because my son has allergies, and they're supposed to be better for your allergies, although no dog is hypoallergenic. But I honestly don't really love the feeling of the curly hair on a dog. I really just want my labs back. We had 2 labs, a black lab and a yellow lab, and I just miss them desperately. The black lab has been gone for about 2 years now, and our sweet, sweet yellow lab, the sweetest dog on earth, we had to say goodbye to her this past Valentine's Day, and my heart's been broken ever since. So, anyways, just speaking of curly versus non-curly, in dog hair or fur, I prefer non-curly. And I'm wondering if this stuff is going to come up. So it didn't at first. I guess it will stay down once it's in the page protector, but this foil is a little trickier than you'd think. So now I will get this going so I can make a grid. I didn't think this page was going to take me so long. I think washi tape would be much faster because it's easier to work with than this foil. This gold foil tape, much harder than I thought. It's you really have to know where you're going to be putting it and get it down so it doesn't curl up, and then I guess hope that it sticks, because I'm not feeling too confident about how sticky it is. So, but I bought a roll of it just because gold was kind of trendy this year, and I like to get in on the new trends and play with them. So this was one way to incorporate gold into my scrapbooking. I'm not sure it's my favorite thing. Although it's different, it's a different texture, and it gives a little shine, whereas most of the rest of my December daily book has been kind of flat. So it's fun to mix it up a little, but I'm not impressed with the stickiness of it. I don't know what brand this is, but I think I bought it on sale at Joann's, which is a craft store here in Florida. The foil is harder to work with, definitely, than washi tape. Washi tape has been my, new love in scrapbooking. I resisted it for a long time, and now I really enjoy it a lot. So I'm going to use some glue stick to get the rest of this down, because it doesn't seem to want to stay down. Stay down. Just like training a puppy, right? Sit. Okay. So I don't know if we're going to get a puppy or not. We went to this adoption fair over the weekend, and we were all ready to go find the perfect dog, and all they had were pit bulls, and no. We're not going to do that. So this one totally fits in that space. Some of the spaces are going to be bigger than others, so if it was going to be there, I would probably trim it down a bit. I probably could get away with trimming this down, but I think that if I use just a double stick tape on this picture, that's going to be something that if I want to change the placement of later, I can. So that will just be the start of my what do you call it? Christmas card page, the photo cards that you get in the mail, And then just to kind of leave it so it's not completely lonely, I'm just going to take the stamp and put it over that piece of pattern paper. And that way, like, depending on how many other cards we get, I can take that up later if I want to. I'm pretty confident I'll fill that thing up. I'll show you how that goes as we go. And I don't think I'm going to bother to, maybe I will just for, so it's almost like Sudoku, right? I want to make it so that I don't play Sudoku, but I think that the object of the game is to make sure like the same number isn't in the row in the column. So here I wanted to make sure that the pattern paper there wasn't two of them in a row or column. So there we go. So that will kind of get that page started off, and I can add to it, and I think that'll be nice and easy. Unlike this foil tape, which is all difficult to work with, like the Diva tape. Okay, enough with the shininess. So that will just go in here sort of as a filler page. So even if I get, we're still getting cards. They don't have to be received on the 7th. It's just fine. And I think actually because this page is such a crazy mess, it's kind of nice to have a page that has some order to it on this side. Yeah. Okay, let's get to page 8 already. My goodness. So here's page 8. And wouldn't it be kind of maybe cute if I just put this right over my little, what do you call that? Pocket, I guess. And I have lots more of this stuff so I can make lots more pockets. I really like this idea because I like the confetti. I think it's really cute and eye-catching. But I also think that it's a little bit hard to work with. And if you put your number right over it, then I'm going to have a place to put the adhesive where it's not going to be obvious. So I like that idea too. Let's see. Okay. So the theory behind these videos is I just press play and then I start going, and then I have to finish. So the 8th was a Sunday, and we didn't do a lot. It was just yesterday. I ought to be able to remember. And I don't have the Sunday tag here. I had a bunch of stickers. Let's just see. So, what am I going to do here? I don't know. Okay, I think I know. One thing that I stocked up on, and where I'm looking right now is just all of my supplies are right here. Yeah, can you see that? Okay, so I have all of my supplies right here for December Daily, and I did buy a lot of these types of cards, so let's use this. Okay. So rather than, and I've done this in the past where I just go right on the back of the page, but I actually think it's not the best way to do it. I think it's better to just use a fresh sheet, so I'm going to do that. 8.5 by 8 1/4. And before I get working on it, I'm going to just stick it in there to make sure it fits. It's a little bit too tall. Just trimmed a little off, and that should work. Yep. Okay. So here's my thought. I don't have any pictures from yesterday. So, but if I used, I wonder if I can get this over, that might be kind of cute to put this right over. I kind of like that. Because you can't really write Like even though there's space to write on this sheet, this 3x4 project life sheet card, it's not a sheet. I like the idea of, because I haven't been doing a lot of like playful layering or anything like that. So this feels like kind of playful layering now. Now I feel crafty. Here we go. So some days I'm really just about the utility of getting everything down onto the page, and I'm not really worrying too much about decorating my project life, but it does feel a little bit fun to tchotchke it up, as I say. So I'm trying to even remember what we did yesterday, and we didn't really do a lot. I went to, where is it? I even thought I brought something. Okay, so those are just barely going to fit together on one page. And then I can kind of make it, because I can kind of do 2.5. Let's see. Let's see how far we get. But I went to an antique show yesterday, and I thought I brought the flyer up here, and I didn't. Oh, but you know what I did find? Haha. How funny. Okay, so I have this little bin where I just walked, where I keep things that that I think might go into Project Life. And so I thought I brought the Brocante Market thing up here. Okay. This is what this page needs. This is where we were gonna get a dog, and then we didn't. But I'm just gonna tuck. This photo here is actually a pocket, and this is what we did on Saturday. But we didn't get a dog, but was our intention. So that finishes off that page pretty perfectly. Yay. Okay. And then I have, my husband wants to get a Wheaten Terrier, and they're very cute, but I can't stand the feel of them. So the answer is no. Sorry. Okay. So there's our, and then underneath this picture was my order from Amazon for things for my sister. I like that. Okay. Okay, back to today's page. So I have Santa's Little Helper. I've got and really I'm just going to use these to do some journaling. And I know that one of the kits that they had for, what do you call it, December Daily, had, I think some of the page protectors were like 4x4 of Project Life cards, Project Life type cards. I don't know if you can call them Project Life if they're made by somebody else, but anyways, I do, so sorry, sue me. Here we go. Okay. And then I've got this random ribbon that I think would look kind of cute with this. So, not a big journaling day, but I will just jot down a few things that we did. Allison has been stuck like glue to me because she's trying to negotiate some early Christmas presents, specifically the Lego Friends Olivia's house. So Allison knows the secret of Christmas, and she's so she's like, can't you just make it a little exception and get me all of what I want right now? And I keep telling her patience is part of the process. Okay, and so instead of making this into a naughty and nice, I think I'll just write 8 things that we did on Sunday, the 8th. So when I went to the Rocante Market and Corey Avenue Art Fair, I always go alone because nobody wants to go with me, but I won't write that. We put up the balcony lights. I did my 3-mile walk. So I've gained so much weight this year for a variety of reasons, but I am lighten up is going to be my word. Light is going to be my word for 2014 because I need to drop some weight, I need to drop some stuff, I need to have more fun. So light is going to be my word. But part of that is I'm getting a little early start on my resolutions. So I did my 3-mile walk yesterday. We watched, part of why my family doesn't like me to do handwritten journaling is because my handwriting is really messy. We watched the SNL with Paul Rudd. We always watch Saturday Night Live on Sunday morning now because I can't stay up that late anymore. What else did we do yesterday? Allison had What's Her Face, and I actually call her friend What's Her Face. She's got a little neighborhood friend, and I was like, what's her face? Okay. Allison had What's Her Face, sleep over, let's stay to play Legos. Oh, I remember what we did. Number 6, Mac and Mom and Dad had a math marathon. Ugh. And then number 7, what else did we do? Watched. My sister turned us on to the show called Bob's Burgers. It's pretty funny. If you like The Simpsons, you would like it. And number 8, still need to shop for presents. I have done very little. Still need to shop. Yikes. And I would like to have a sticker up here that said Sunday. I think that would be easy and helpful. I'm just going to put this a little bit. And I think in these albums, it's nice to have, on some of my pages I've got like a lot going on, but I think it's also nice to have a few pages where there's not much going on, you know. There's just like, it's orderly, it's simple, and it's just a visual resting place. If only we could incorporate that into the whole concept of the whole month of December, because how crazy is December? It's crazy. Like, first of all, it starts in August because you see all the stuff in the stores, and I haven't really done a lot of shopping this year. So I haven't been subject to too much of that, but you still get that people asking you like, oh, you're ready for Christmas? You're ready for Christmas? I guess it's just something to say, but I kind of hate that question. Like, no! I mean, no, I don't know. Guess you are. I don't know. But it is kind of a, like, it's a hyped up season that, like, we have hyped, you know, Americans love to hype things up, and we have done just that. But it's still good. And I still really, like, I showed my December Daily album to my family last night, and, like, you know, I'm an avid scrapbooker. They don't really spend a lot of time looking at all of my pages. Like, they do occasionally, but it's not like, ooh, what did you just, you know, they're not interested to see what I just made. That I save for my scrapbooking friends online, you know. And I think that's a big part of the online scrapbooking community's purpose is we need, you know, once you make something, you want to show it. And I think that showing that to your online friends in galleries or whatever is a great thing to do, because you can say, look what I made. And the people looking are actually interested. Even if they're not maybe interested in the specific stories of your pages, they're still interested, and that is nice. A nice place to go share your work, whether you're digital or paper, is Debbie Hodges' Get It Scrapped. And you don't have to use any specific materials. You can use whatever you want and post it there. I guess that is a thing in some of the shops online. I usually post my scrapbook pages just on, this is maybe where I'm going to sew this down. I don't know. Let's just see. I might just tape it down. See how it looks. But Get It Scrapped, it has a great gallery where you can post your work, your scrapbooking work, and I'm on the creative team there. And one of the things that they really encourage is don't just leave a comment like, ooh, nice layout. Like, leave a comment that says, you know, like, says something. Like, why do you like that page? Or what's, you know, what specifically about that page are you drawn to? And so, you know, it's like, I like the way you placed your title, or I like, you know, so you get specific feedback on your layouts, which I think is a nice, and you get a lot of feedback on your layout. So we're, on the creative team, we're encouraged to go into the gallery and give feedback, and give good constructive feedback. And therefore, it's a fun place to post your work. So it'll actually get seen, and people will comment on it in a meaningful way. Okay, just gonna add. So most of my pages haven't been this embellished, and I know for some scrapbookers, they're like, you're probably thinking like, oh, that's not very embellished. For me, it is. I'm somebody who could. I like scrapbook embellishments. I mean, I think that's part of the fun. But I don't embellish on every single page. I have some pages that are very, very sparse and, like, I guess what you would call like clean and simple type of scrapbooking. But I have other pages where I kind of go to town on embellishments. And I don't think this is either. So I don't think I've over embellished here. But I do think that my album needs some, because I do a lot of photo collages where there's just a lot of photos to look at, and I'll tell you this, my kids love those pages. They're like, nope, don't turn the page. They want to look at those pages for a long time. So I think those kind of pages are kind of the types of pages in the online galleries that you go, oh, move on. We're not, that's not interesting. It's just a big photo collage. But for my family, those are some of the most interesting layouts. Like, I'll show you in a second. I'm almost done with this. But the embellished pages, I think, are what gather you attention in the online scrapbooking world. And so, anyways, I think in in a book, in a scrapbook, it's good to have both. So it's good to have some pages where it is more about the embellishing, and this is one of those pages for me. So I'm just going to show you how this fits into the grand scheme of the album. So what I would expect is that today I'll bring my camera and I'll take a picture, and maybe I'll even do one of those, like, I'll print it up really big so it fills the whole space. And now that it's 8.5, if I printed a square 8.5 by 8.5 photo, I could fill up this whole page, and that would make it really easy for me to get that scrapped, get it scrapped, haha, get it scrapped tonight. So this is how the album is looking so far. So I still think this is a hot mess of a page, but it was a hot mess of a day. There's my Christmas card. Those are going to be my punched. And then this was December 6th. This was Friday, and we went to an office party and a boat parade, and then we have this imaginary character named Advent the Snowman who comes and brings presents. That happened on the 6th in our house. And more office photos on the 5th. And then this was a page where it's kind of like this page here. So every so often, and I'm not going to plan it out, but I'll have a page that are just the Project Life type cards and some journaling, just as a kind of a visual rest. But in the future, like, I'm not so apt to go reading these right now, but say 5 years from now, I'll be really interested to read all the details of what was going on in our lives right now. So, and then I blew up a picture to 5x7 of my husband playing drums. He does that when we go out. We went out. So he likes to drum alone. We went out to a dinner at school. Here's another one of those Project Life pages. And this is just a really easy way to get a little bit of embellishment onto the page and a lot of information without a photo. And so I guess I didn't even really plan it, but I have 3 of those types of pages so far in the album. So I think that's going to be, like, the mental note, that's going to be kind of a recurring theme. My son lost his tooth. Here's one of those pages that's a Picasso collage. And my kids really love these pages. I think they love them because if you print them as a grid, it's easy to take in a lot of photos. And they really like to look at all the pictures. And this was just our to-do list from December 2nd. Here's just 2 pictures of my kids, and then here's all of so my kids usually like to just look at their own pictures, so this is all about Allison in 2013, and then all about Mac in 2013. And they'll look at this page for like 10 minutes. They love it. And December 1st is my father-in-law's birthday, and then kind of a couple of opener pages. I still need to do the front page and do something to the front of this boring looking album. This is how full I am so far. So I have, like, plenty of space. I'm doing fine. I have a few lumpy things, like I've got some glitz, dimensional embellishments here. Most of my embellishments are kind of flat, but that's where I am so far. Thank you for watching. I'm Katie Scott. My blog is Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking for Keep It Super Simple and Tell Your Stories Scrapbooking. Thank you for watching.